U and I or E and E laminations. For example, this is a shell type core transformer. Such type of laminations has been assembled like in this position. And for a big transformer, these laminations have been clamped to this side. This is the windings. Normally the LV winding, that is the low voltage winding, has been kept near to the core so as to reduce the insulation cost and the insulation material for this. The lamination, since these are the type of laminations U and I, E and I laminations, the vertical portion of the lamination is called limb and the horizontal portion of the core is called yoke, and the windings have been assembled. Like this is your shell laminations for shell type core. The winding has been put around this portion. Is electromagnetic induction. This is basically the core of the transformer. This portion is called yoke and these vertical portions, these are called limbs. Windings, these are the windings. The part of winding which has been connected to this supply voltage is called primary winding, and winding which may be either open or connected to the load is called the secondary winding. So in this case, this is your primary winding and this is the secondary winding. Due to electromagnetic induction, the basic working of transformer involves when supply has been given to the transformer. This subscript 1 shows that it is the component or the parameter corresponding to primary side. So when V1 has been supplied to the primary winding, which is AC in nature, magnetic flux will be there, which is also AC in nature, and due to Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction, E1 is induced. This is basically due to self-inductance. Due to mutual induction, this is the path which the flux phi m follows. This phi m stands for the mutual flux. Due to this, E2 has been induced in the secondary winding. This subscript shows that these are the parameters corresponding to the secondary winding. Subscript 1 and subscript 2 for primary and secondary windings respectively. Due to this E2, V2 has been produced in the terminal voltage. This is the terminal voltage V2. When the circuit is open or when there is no load, then I2 is 0 in this case. But when load is there, then we have the I2 flows in this circuit. So this is the basic working of a transformer. I can show you, like this is the example normally we show as this is the primary winding, this is the core, this is the secondary winding. First we show this is no load. No load means when secondary is open circuit. So the phasor diagram for this is like this is the phi m mutual inductance. Since according to Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction, E1 lags behind the voltage. So the lagging voltage is behind this. So this shows that E1 lags phi m by 90 degrees. Is it okay? Now since we have a no load current, when supply voltage is there, a small current, that is I naught. I naught shows that no load current flows through the circuit. So this is the basically I naught. This is the I naught. I naught current has two components, IM and IE. This is the energy component of the current, or also known as the active component of the current. Similarly, this is the magnetizing component of current. Like since magnetizing component is there, so this is the Im. Magnetizing component. It is in phase with phi m. This is I naught or Ie. So the phasor sum of Ie and Im gives you the I naught, no load primary current. So this is the phasor diagram for this. Since E1 and the direction of V1, they are in phase opposition, so there lies a voltage V1. No load current means there is no load current, secondary current is 0. Similarly, depending upon the type of transformer, if it is a step-up transformer, then E2 is in phase with E1, and this shows that E2 is greater than E1. This means it is a step-up transformer. As I have already said, when transformer has been connected to secondary winding, depending upon this nature of this load may be resistive load, or inductive load, or capacitive load. So depending upon this type of load, the V2 has been there. Since this circuit has been complete, so I2 flows in this circuit. Due to I2, some phi2 is there, and the direction of phi2 is such so as to oppose its cause. So in this case, we can show like when transformer is on load, then this is the direction of phi m. Due to this I2 or the mutual inductance, secondary current also has a flux that is such so as to oppose its cause. The cause is phi m, so direction of phi2 is in opposition to the phi m. But as the principle of, according to the principle of transformer, it has a almost constant flux. So as to maintain a constant flux, the primary current draws a more current, that is your I1. I1 again has now two components. One is no load current and other component is a current which is in phase opposition to I2, such that the voltage or the flux induced due to this I2 is phi2 dash. So in general, these currents, these fluxes, that is phi2 and phi2, they nullify each other, so that the total flux in the core remains constant. This is the basic principle of working of the transformer. Now we will discuss about the phasor diagram of transformer on load. Starting with the initial point, phi m has been induced, that is due to mutual induction. When supply voltage has been connected to primary winding, phi m is there. Some no load current has been there, I naught, which we have already said in the previous phasor diagram. It has two components, magnetizing component and the energy component Ie. The phasor sum is I naught. This I naught is just 3 to 5% of total primary rated current. Since E1 lags behind the voltage or the flux phi m by 90 degrees, so according to phasor diagram, E1 lies here. Now the transformer has been connected to a load. Suppose that load is inductive in nature. So this means we have some angle I2 has been given with some angle phi2 or some angle is there, so I2 is there. The phase opposition of this current, that is I2 dash, as discussed earlier. This is the I2 dash is basically in phase opposition to I2 and its value is equal to K times I2, where K is the transformation ratio, which is normally equal to V2 upon V1, or it is equal to N2 upon N1, or it is equal to I1 upon I2. Depending upon step-up transformer, then K is greater than 1. For K less than 1 means it is a step-down transformer. When it is equal to 1, this means it is 1:1 transformer, means energy is just going to be transferred from primary to secondary winding. Now, since we have I2, now the phasor sum of I2 and I0, that is parallel to this and parallel to this. This is the current I1. Now V2 is there, so this is the phasor diagram for practical transformer, means it has pure inductive windings, no leakage flux is there. So this is the phasor diagram of transformer on load, and that transformer is basically the ideal transformer. But practically this winding, this is the inductive winding, but practically this inductive winding is not feasible in practice. So we have some resistive value of this also, so we add R1 to show that it is a practical winding. Similarly, some resistance is also present in the coil of the secondary side, so this shows it is your R2. This is basically the practical transformer, and we have also discussed that during this mutual induction, flux of primary windings links with the secondary winding, and that flux is known as phi m. Practically, it is also not possible. Normally, some flux leaks around the winding. This flux leaks around the winding. This means this is called the leakage flux. The flux which leaks across the primary winding and the secondary winding. So this leakage flux may be represented by some reactance, which is normally known as the leakage reactance.